On February 6, I helped my neighbor, Steve Colburn, realize a bucket list dream of his, to sail his refurbished DN Iceboat on Lake Geneva. This is the story of how a 15-year-old Steve came to build a DN Iceboat in 1955, and at 85 years old was able to sail his refurbished iceboat once again. Young Steve has always had a love for sailboats. While vacationing with his parents on Lake Geneva, he became fascinated with the iceboats on the lake. He was keen to try out this exciting sport for himself. Determined to have an iceboat, Steve fashioned one out of some scrap wood and used some old T metal fence posts for the runners and made sails out of an old bedsheet. He built 2 of them so his friend John Potts could join in the fun. A year or 2 later, Steve acquired the plans for a DN iceboat. With plans in hand, he built and launched his boat in 1956. During the winter of 2023, Steve asked me if he could set up his iceboat in my studio. The boat hadn't been used since the early 1960s. Having the desire to clean it up and refurnish the iceboat so that he could sail it once again. I of course said yes. After a fresh coat of paint, we assembled the boat for inspection and to make it ice-worthy again.
One of these goes on one side, right?
Yeah, let's start out to the side, I guess, or raise it up till it's over that pulley. Begin to touch. There.
Hold on. Should we check that?
Is it tangled there? Oh, you're watching
Yeah, I don't want to hit
the roof. Now that should just hang there, I think. I don't think it'll go, maybe it will go sideways, I don't know. I can do that. There it is, back where it was. So,
So what do we need to do to make
well,
it?
there's no fine adjustment anywhere.
We successfully assembled and rigged the iceboat. We just had inches to clear the ceiling. The only parts missing were the runners.
The boat behind me is an ice boat of a certain specific class. It's called a DN ice boat, and the DN stands for Detroit News. They were the original sponsor, and I think continue to be the sponsor for that class. It was, I think, established in the 1930s. It's been around for a long time, and I built this one in the 1950s. This is kind of a vintage DN ice boat. You know, I brought it in here, and you said, "Why don't you paint it?" And well, I got some new paint. It looks pretty nice now. Well, the sail was originally a mainsail for a larger sailboat that was no longer used, and it was called a heavy weather main. It's a strong canvas, and I cut it down and re-sewed the hems and the ropes along the edges, and did a lot of work on it, but put on the batten pockets and got it set up to be the right size.
So the only parts that were actually missing were the runners.
Right, and a friend of mine had sold the runners, so I didn't have runners for it, and so I had to remake new runners just recently. I've made a drawing of the runner based off of the latest drawing for the ice boat, a 30-inch long runner with a kind of a rounded nose on the front. and then there's a stiffening piece up here, and you can see what I've got, the 3 runners. Now, I've got the stiffeners kind of clamped on here. They're not shaped yet. You could either do it my way, the way I'm doing it, and rivet them on, or else you can get a 1-inch thick piece, and if you have a milling machine, put a slot in it. But this is the poor man's way.
So this is the table saw you made it, the original ones
It
with?
is, yeah, back in the 50s, yeah. And I went to Menards and bought a grinding wheel, which is a kind of a soft stone, which is nice because it keeps a good sharp surface, but it gets rough, and what I want to do is get them all down to where they've got an edge, all 3 of them, then I'll dress that flat and then make another pass to get a nice flat surface on those. So that's better part of an hour to do one. Kind of watching, I've come to a V here almost. There's a little flat, but I got a V.
So are you
here.
worried about the metal shavings going in your table saw?
Well, not yet. I'll blow it out with a air.
You did it back in the...
It survived the original set of runners, you know. So my dad was probably worried. The same way I made the original ones.
I had asked Steve about the unusual fittings that were on the Iceboat and where and how he had sourced them.
Well, I didn't have pocket money at the time to buy a whole set of fittings, and I was fascinated by the foundry process, having actually built my own foundry in the backyard with a sort of a pit lined with bricks that had a blower that blew air into it and burned coal in there with a crucible and melted copper and made bronze. So it was kind of a fun process. I made my own patterns, and my dad and I went over to a foundry in East Peoria and got some foundry sand. The guy said, "Here, take these bags. We lose that much in a day." So I've still got all his sand. Yeah.
So the Iceboat was ready. New lines, runners, and paint. Unfortunately, in 2023, we didn't have suitable ice. In 2024, again, no ice. 2025, sad to say, no ice. And then, perfect ice reported at Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So in February 2006, we were ready to go. On February 6th, with the Iceboat all loaded up, we set our GPS for Lake Geneva. We headed for Fontana, which is on the western side of the lake, and this is where the iceboaters gather. Upon arriving, we were greeted by one of the iceboaters, John McDougall. He gave us some great information on where to set up. Once we got to the site, we got busy unloading and assembling the Iceboat. Joining our crew was our neighbor and fellow sailor, Sarah Mayo. Also joining us was Pat Cahill, a sailor and a member of the boat building mentorship program. Pat took on the task of attaching the new runners, while Sarah began assisting with the sail.
I could help you make
Too loose of a track.
Pat,
No, I love this.
hold it, Sarah!
You ready to go?
We'll see.
You get in, somebody grab the shroud there and hold on to that, because when I let go of this, it's going to immediately want to go.
Yeah.
A lot of fellow iceboaters came out to help Steve get launched.
Sit down and you're done. All right. Turn it a little bit to the right.
Head out towards the lake. Like if you get this angle right here, I'll give you a little push. Yeah, you're sinking in. Head going to the right. You cup between these two ice.
You got more
you
slack
should
to
be good.
pick up on that sail.
Ready?
We each took a turn, and next up was Sarah.
That's what we all need to learn how to do.
Oh my gosh.
So how was that, Sarah?
More fun at Oh my gosh.
Yeah, good work.
That was insane. I didn't want to take too much time, but oh my gosh, you kept playing it.
Well,
I told you, it feels like you're going twice as fast.
Uh-huh.
yeah. We're gonna
And then
put
Pat
yourself out
took
into
a
the lake
spin.
and get going, and then we got the boom come across now you're talking.
And then I took a turn. As much fun as we had had, the day belonged to Steve. Cold sunlight stretched across the frozen lake, and the wind moved like an old friend, finally keeping a promise. Beneath a wider winter sky, the iceboat he had built with his own hands, board by board, stitch by stitch, performed as he had remembered on the shining ice. For years, The dream of getting back on the ice felt distant, almost foolish, but dreams built slowly tend to grow strong. Out there, moving fast, over the bright winter silence, Steve realized the dream. It was about determination, the waiting, and the courage to try. And as the iceboat glided across the lake, he had known all his life, the day held a simple truth. Sometimes the best journeys begin in a small workshop with cold hands, patient hope, and a dream strong enough to carry you into the wind. Thank you, Steve, for letting me be a part of this incredible journey.